Hi everybody, welcome back to Sunshine Soap and Candle Company. Today I'm going to be sharing with you how to make a surface cleaner or all-purpose cleaner. Now I've shared with you probably 3 or 4 of these by now, including a window streak free cleaner, but about a month ago I got a request from a patron to replicate or come up with something similar to the ZUM all-purpose surface cleaner. And I looked up the ingredients on this one, and actually one that I've already shared with you has very similar ingredients to this one here, but the composition is much different. The one that I shared with you in the past has a lot of lather and bubbles to it. This one does not. So I got to researching and deciding how I could make something inspired by this using the same ingredients roughly that we used in the other one that's more bubbly, and today that's what I'm going to be sharing with you. My finished product and this finished product are a bit different, but I wanted to share with you some of the pros and cons of this formula, as well as why I kind of made some changes to this one to make mine a little bit more to my liking. So I'll go over all of that in the video today. In this video today, I'm going to be going over my full visual process and step-by-step tutorial of how to put together this ZUM-inspired all-purpose cleaner. And if you would like the full written formula with a detailed step-by-step tutorial, please head on over to my Patreon campaign. As usual, I'll have it published over there. And if you like this type of content, I have a whole collection of household cleaning products, including probably 3 or 4 now all-purpose cleaners, including a streak-free glass cleaner that you can also use as an all-purpose cleaner. So there's a lot to take a look at and take advantage of over there. We have just had our 7-year anniversary of since the launch of my Patreon campaign. So there are hundreds of formulas and tutorials for you to take a look at and take advantage of over there. So I hope that you'll check it out. Again, the link is in the description box below. All right, everyone, let's get started. Okay, I wanted to start off by just reading the ingredients from this brand here. And this brand, ZUM, is very well known for its kind of all-natural products. So they have soap and surface cleaners and other type of household cleaners. And they are bleach-free, ammonia-free, and phosphate-free. This is made out of water, potassium cocoate, which is just saponified coconut oil. I'll get into that in a minute. A saponified coconut oil, which is 100% coconut oil soap, liquid soap. Essential oils, denatured alcohol, which is perfumer's alcohol, glycerin, and baking soda. That's it. So this is a very natural formula. The one thing I noticed right off the bat with this one is that it's not a clear formula. And if you guys have been with me for a while, you know that I like my formulas to be clear. And this one is a little hazy. And it does say on the back to shake before using, because the essential oils may separate and hang out on the top. It's kind of hard to see because of the label, but the essential oils in this formula do settle out and float up to the top of this bottle, and you do have to shake it up before use to get it homogeneous. And to be honest with you, that's something that doesn't bother everybody, but it kind of bothers me. This smells really good and it actually works really good, but I wanted to make mine a clear formula. So when we go over when I publish the tutorial, I'll put in there 2 different methods, and I'll talk about that as we get further along in this process. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and weigh off some distilled water. We're making a 1,000-gram batch today. All right. Now, the next thing we're going to do is weigh off the baking soda. So my ingredients are a little bit out of order here, the way that they're listed. So I'm going to just take a pencil and check off after I've added each ingredient so I don't get confused. My baking soda here, now this is something that you want to be careful not to add too much, because it won't solubilize all the way into the water. So if you add too much, kind of the same with salt. If you add too much salt to something, it will only partially solubilize. So same thing with baking soda. You want to make sure you're not adding too much. But the baking soda in this formula is providing a natural, maybe some deodorizing properties. It's going to offer some mild cleaning support, and it's going to help to neutralize unwanted odors. So it is a good ingredient for household cleaning. It does clean and deodorize. We're going to add this in and get it completely dissolved before we add in other ingredients. So baking soda is not something that I typically add to a surface cleaner. I might have baking soda actually in one of my first surface cleaners, but again, it's just a good ingredient to add into your all-purpose cleaners because it does aid in cleansing and deodorizing. So we are going to give that a stir and dissolve that baking soda. Now, baking soda can be reactive with other ingredients like vinegar. And we are not adding any vinegar to this formula. This was, again, inspired by the ZUM all-purpose cleaner. So the ingredients here I tried to keep fairly similar, although you're going to see our products are different in composition. All right, so the next thing we're going to do is add in the Potassium Cocoate. Now, this one's interesting. You guys, if you're a patron or you've seen this video, you have seen me make the liquid coconut soap. This is 100% coconut oil soap, and you can make it yourself from scratch. So I will be providing the document where the tutorial and document where I share the formula and the tutorial on how to make this. This is just, again, a 100% coconut oil soap. You can make it yourself. I'm not sure, you can probably buy it pre-made because it is an ingredient that I see in a lot of different body washes and household cleaning products. So I bet you can purchase this pre-made, but I'm going to provide the document on how to make your own. The other thing is if you didn't want to make your own and you had another surfactant, like you could totally replace this with cocamidal propylbutane. Again, we are trying to stick true to the one that we are making in the likeness of. So that's why I chose this liquid soap here for this formula. So Potassium Cocoate is obviously a plant-derived soap made from coconut oil that provides the primary cleaning power. It lifts the grease and the dirt and everyday grime on hard surfaces. It's a very effective cleaner. But you could replace this technically with a surfactant. If you didn't want to deal with making the coconut oil soap from scratch, you could just use something like cocamidal propylbutane or even decyl glucoside. Those would be good options here as well. But you're getting further away from this one if you're trying to make something like that, if you make substitutions. So right now, the 3 ingredients that we've used are also in the ZUM all-purpose cleaner. Giving this a stir just to combine before we move on. Now, coconut oil soap is going to make bigger bubbles as well. So you're going to see a little bit of lather starting to form here at the top. And you can spritz that out with a little rubbing alcohol too, just to kind of control the bubbles while you're making this. So the next thing we're going to add in is our perfumer's alcohol or denatured alcohol. The reason why we're using denatured alcohol here is this is going to enhance the cleaning properties. It's going to help to dissolve oils and residue. It's going to promote faster drying. so your counter and your surfaces don't stay wet for a long time, and it helps to leave surfaces, it can help surfaces be streak free, but as you're going to see with this formula, that is not the case with this one. It does need to be rinsed off, so I'll be demonstrating that at the end of this video. But this also cuts the lather a little bit, so we don't get, you know, big bubbles when we're using this formula, which is good. Very, very easy to rinse away. So we are using the denatured alcohol for those purposes. By the way, I got this one from Bulk Apothecary, and I am an affiliate, so if you look in the description box, you will see a link for this product. Oh, just a little bit more. This will help with the cleansing and disinfecting properties as well. It will help a little bit when we add our fragrance too, to solubilize it, but you'll see. So far all the ingredients in here are the same ingredients that are in this one. Now we are going to deviate a little bit from using exactly the same ingredients here, and I'll explain why as I go through this process. So there's the denatured alcohol. Next, we're going to add in our glycerin and then a preservative. So glycerin in this case is not totally necessary, but again, it's in this product here, so I wanted to try to keep it as true to that as possible. But the glycerin's going to add a little bit of a humectant property to this, so when you're wiping things down, it's going to not feel so harsh on your hands. That's the main purpose for adding in the glycerin. Glycerin might also help a little bit with the clarity of this formula. Now again, you've seen that this one is not a crystal clear formula, and I'm going to do something different to this formula to ensure that it does stay crystal clear. And what I'm going to do is provide both formulas with and without. So this way you can make it more. I'm going to provide a tutorial that shows you how to make this more and even closer to the likeness of this, if you don't mind that haziness. And I'm also going to share mine, and then this way you can decide which one you like the best. Okay, so the last thing we're going to be adding in here for now is the preservative. Now, you'll notice that the Zum brand does not contain a preservative. And to be perfectly honest, I'm not totally sure why it doesn't have a preservative. My guess is because of maybe how much denatured alcohol that they're using enough alcohol that it acts as a preservative. I am not doing that in this formula for sure. We're not using enough denatured alcohol to preserve. So I wanted to make sure that this formula did stay stable. So today we're going to be using some Euxyl. This is the first time I'm sharing a formula where I'm using this particular preservative, and I hope to be using it more often in water-based cosmetic formulas as well, so stay tuned for that. So this is a good one to use for this formula because it works well in a wide range of pHs. This one could actually also be used in liquid soap recipes. With the ones with the higher pH, so liquid soap from scratch. A lot of you have been asking me about preservatives for that type of formula, and this is going to be your answer. It's used in the same rate as Optifin. Let's get that totally stirred in. Okay. Now, this next step, what I'm going to do is solubilize my fragrance oil. And you guys, I've made one in my test batches using essential oils, which I'll show you that in a few minutes as well. So you can make this with an essential oil blend. I'll share that in the tutorial. I'll share just the different things you can do with it fragrance wise. So I'm going to put this off to the side, and then the next thing we're going to do is combine our fragrance oil with our PEG 40 hydrogenated castor oil. Now, this is something this has been sitting in a hot water bath so that I could make it more liquid and easier to measure out and pour because it is quite viscous. This is not included in the ZUM surface cleaner, and that is why there is some floating oils and why they have a hazy formula. Now, if you're like me and you want a clear formula, you're going to use this. This is going to keep the essential oils or the fragrance oil evenly dispersed throughout the water-based formula. It's going to help to maintain a crystal clear appearance, and it's going to ensure that the fragrance is evenly distributed throughout the product. So warming this up sure makes a difference in weighing. So I will be sharing over in the document, in the tutorial on Patreon, I'll be sharing a essential oil blend that you can use in this formula. And I'll also be sharing what I'm going to be adding in today. Oh, and I've also used a different one. I'll show you all the different finished products at the end of this video. So today I'm going to be trying out a new fragrance. This one is called The Orange Skittle. This is by Black Tie Barn, and I was actually turned on to this fragrance by a friend patron who came to one of our live hangouts last month, and she was just raving about how amazing it smells, so I had to order it myself. And you know what? It's amazing. It smells so good. It's very true to like an orange Skittle smell. Out of the bottle, it's got a beautiful orange punch, kind of gorgeous smelling. It doesn't smell like necessarily like just a cleaning product. You could use it very easily in soap or even body sprays, I think, but it has such a nice, bright, effervescent orange fragrance to it that I wanted to try it in this formula as well. This was my first time ordering from Black Tie Barn. They have a wonderful website, very user-friendly website, and I like how they have their fragrance oils all organized by category. This makes it super easy to look for exactly what you are looking for. Makes it easy to find and navigate. I like all the names of the fragrance oils too. So out of the bottle so far, these have been smelling really good. And I'm doing a little bit of candle testing with another one. And so far I'm getting good results on that as well. Okay, so we're going to take this, we're mixing this up. So again, this is going to solubilize that beautiful fragrance or essential oil that you're using, so that when you combine it with your water-based, mostly water-based formula, it will be evenly dispersed. It's not going to separate out and leave a layer of floating oil. I'm actually going to see if I have a little bit of orange liquid dye. I think that would be kind of nice to give it a little bit of an orange tint to it because we're using this orange Skittle fragrance. Smells amazing. Thank you, Tammy, for turning me on to this wonderful fragrance. Probably coming up, I'm going to be sharing some cold processed soap formula with this one too. I just think it would be really nice in a soap. So what I'm doing is just making sure that this is completely solubilized. We don't want to see any oil streaks or separation. Now what we're probably going to notice, what I've experienced a lot with PEG 40 hydrogenated castor oil, is that when it hits the kind of colder water, it likes to get stringy and a little stretchy, and it takes a little bit to really get it stirred in and completely dissolved. So don't be alarmed if you see that. Totally normal for this ingredient. It just takes a few minutes to get the whole thing incorporated. And just like I thought, we have a lot of stringy material here. And again, this just takes some time. You just want to stir gently and slowly and get the whole thing nice and solubilized. You could put this into a little bit of a warm water bath to hasten this process. So I may do that and bring you right back when we're all done. So this is what I wanted to share with you. If you can see that it just gets stringy until that totally dissolves into the formula. You see like strings and strands. So it's okay to go ahead and warm this up very gently over a warm water bath. I'll bring you right back. All right, now that the fragrance oil and the solubilizer have completely dissolved in this formula, as you can see, it's completely crystal clear. We have no floating oils. It is a gorgeous formula with a beautiful smell. Again, you can gently warm this up over a hot water bath to hasten the dissolving process. You don't have to. You can leave it at room temperature. Just know that it's going to take a lot longer for everything to dissolve. I wouldn't go higher than 95 degrees, 95 degrees when you're warming everything up. Just keep it nice and low on your temperatures to preserve the preservative and also that beautiful fragrance or essential oil. Or alternatively, you could just warm your water up before you add in your other ingredients so that it's already warm when you pour in your fragrance oil and solubilizer blend. Now, I'm going to try something that I haven't done with this formula yet. I'm going to add a little tiny bit of water-soluble dye, and I'm going to be using just an orange powdered dye from Fizz Fairy. This is for water-based formulas, so I'm just going to add the tiniest bit. This is a super concentrated dye, so you don't need a lot. A little bit goes a long way. The only thing about these is they're a little bit finicky with pH, so let's see, just the tiniest bit. It could be a not very true orange color, so this is an experiment. Oh, looking gorgeous. There, that's all I'm going to add. I just added the tiniest pinch and we're getting a gorgeous orange tinted formula here. That is so pretty. Okay, I'm just going to stir it, make sure that that color is completely bloomed into the formula here, and then we're going to pour it into our spray bottles. So pretty. And then I'll kind of go over my other test batches with you, the differences, and I'll give you a little bit of a use demo. So I'm using these cute spray bottles. I got these on Amazon. I'll link these also in my Amazon store if you're interested in these. I'm actually not sure right offhand how many grams these hold, but I just thought they were so cute. Oh, I should have got a beaker with a handle there. It's okay. I can't wait to clean with this. It smells so good. Of course, you could just leave this totally crystal clear formula. I've got a little bit left over, probably about 300 grams or so. Okay, just popping the lids on. And there you have it. A beautiful ZUM inspired surface cleaner. Stay tuned for a use demo. Okay, so we have this one that I've made with essential oils. This one was made with a eucalyptus and lemon essential oil blend. And I will place the percentages for that also in the tutorial so that you have both and you can make it like more like this one if you like. And I'll also provide a tutorial and instructions on how not to add. Basically, you're just going to omit the solubilizer. If you want to make it more like this one, it will be a hazy formula. You will have to shake it before use, but I'll provide that as well. Then I've made this one with a fragrance called Sugared Satin by Brambleberry, and it stays really nice in this formula as well. Works really good. It's a nice kind of sweet, warm smell. And then today we made the one with the orange Skittle fragrance, and it smells so good. It's the first time I've added dye. I really like that color. So I wanted to show you a little bit of a side-by-side here demonstration. This is the ZUM cleaner. Of course, you want to shake this one up, give it a little bit of a spritz. Now, here's what I will say. It says that the formula is streak-free, and I get inconsistent results with it being streak-free. Sometimes it is and sometimes it's not, and it could just be depending on how much, this is just a dry paper towel, how much formula you've used and how well you've wiped it down. So there's that. It smells really good too, I have to say. This formula smells really good. So you just, if you want this one to remain streak-free like they say, you just gotta keep going and wiping until everything's really dry. And then there's no film or anything left behind. Now, here's mine. I'm gonna do the same thing, just take a dry paper towel. And I'm also gonna show you my preferred method. So here's mine. Smelling really good. Dry paper towel. See, super similar. We don't get any lather, foam, or bubbles, which is excellent. I'm going to continue to try and do exactly what I did and just dry down with the paper towel here until everything's nice and dry. And we get a streak-free, there's no film or anything left behind. But to be perfectly honest with you, the way that I like to use my surface cleaners, and like I said, I don't get very always consistent results with these being streak-free. Sometimes it does seem like a little bit of a film is left behind, so you have to be very diligent in making sure you wipe it down till it's dry. If you let it dry down, it can be a little streaky. So this is my preferred method, to be honest. I just like to spray it down. Then I take a warm, wet rag and I just clean. And that's how I like to use it personally. And then you'll always have a streak-free finish. And I wouldn't recommend this on glass, but I do have a glass cleaner formula as well, if you're interested in that. All right, everybody, that's how you make a beautiful ZUM-inspired surface cleaner. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. Please remember to leave me some questions and comments below. That really means a lot to me. Share this video with a friend, and why not subscribe to my channel? All right, everyone, catch you on the next video. Bye, keep shining.